Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to go ahead and take a look at 2000 Day Goku. Yeah, a few days ago I finally got my EZA medals for this guy, so I figured let's go ahead and take a good look at him. I'm really curious to see how good he can do. The thing I'm worried about with this Goku is that just the nature of the requirements to get him, I think is going to make him more of a trophy unit for a lot of players, because when this guy first came out, like if every player could have this guy on day 2000, like he was fantastic. Like he came out around the same time as like the Prime Battle Goku EZA, and at the time, though, they were both considered like the best free-to-play units in the game, right? Now this Goku I think is still going to be good, but he's already like starting to age a little bit, and for a lot of players, by the time you get him, he's probably not going to be worth running in most cases. So that's the bad part about him, is that he's just so inaccessible to people, right? And I do think of him a little bit more as a trophy card, even though he is still very usable in certain ways right now. But over time, he's just going to die off, which is quite unfortunate. But let's check out and see how good he's doing right now in 2022. Like I said, I just got him for the first time, so very excited to try him out. This is a Max Links Showcase Rainbow, so he's completely maxed out for this showcase. So his leader skill is somewhat significant just because it's an all types 120 skill. 120 isn't a good leader skill by today's standards, but it's good enough for like free-to-play content or for like Battlefield, like things like that. It's still very, very good for. A lot of people set this guy as their friend unit, which is kind of annoying just because I know they want to show it off, but it's not a unit you realistically want to run. What happens is this guy ends up being a leader a lot for like link level. So I think a lot of people set this guy and they actually get a lot of friend points because he pops up for link leveling, but I would much rather everybody set like a real leader, especially like some of these oddball ones that don't get put out as much, just so we can run their teams, right? But hopefully Dokkan will just fix the friend system and it won't matter, and then we don't even have to have this discussion, right? So anyways, into the passive here for 2000 Day Goku. So super attack effect is colossal damage, raises all allies attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. So the 2-turn support on super is actually really good, and that's on the 12 key. On the 18 key, Mega Colossal in attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn. So what's really awesome about this guy is you get the 18 key super, right? So then you're going to buff your rotation by 30%. Then if he gets an additional super, he's going to have that additional 20% 2-turn buff. So if he's in slot 1, your rotation's getting a 50% attack and defense buff, and then the next rotation's getting 20, which is actually really good. So in terms of super attack buffs, like that's probably one of the better ones in the game, especially for an LR where you can have the 2 different buffs, right? And then his passive, he gets attack and defense 77% at the start of turn. He gets 1 key, an attack, defense, and chance of performing a crit plus 7%, and recovers 7,777 HP per key sphere obtained. So he has a little bit of a nuke in there, plus an additional defense plus 1,000 per key sphere obtained for 1,000 turns, and then plus an additional 2,000 attack per key sphere obtained for 2,000 turns. So the 1,000 and the 2,000 turns, they're just referring to the 1,000 day and the 2,000 day. It's basically like you just always get that, right? So even though he has that small 7% nuke, they did give him the flat nuke in addition to that. So I think it does add up. If you get a lot of orbs, I think he's going to be looking pretty good. The bad part about a unit like this is he doesn't orb change himself. So you either need to run him with other orb changers or orb changing items to get it consistently. For the sake of running more support units than orb changers, what I decided to do was run him with... oh shoot, I should have put... I just thought of it. I should have ran STR Kaba on this team because he would have been supporting and orb changing, but that's okay. We're going to run him without orb changing, and then I did bring orb changing items, so we'll just see what he's kind of naturally getting for orbs, and then I'll have 1 turn or a couple turns where I'll use some items and really blow him up and make him look good. I initially built him out full crit, and then I kind of went back with equips and gave him a lot of additional. I do think additional is actually a little bit more important than crit on this guy, just because if you really want to utilize that 2-turn support passive, I think that's really, really good, right? And then you can see I gave him a few equips there, and then yeah, full level 10 links. So let's hop in and see. So we got a Pure Saiyans team here. I'm actually going to link them up with Goku and Vegeta Angel here, the STR Vegito. They share, I believe, 4 links together. He doesn't have like a perfect 7/7 linking partner, so we'll just link him up with a really good LR like that. We actually got the perfect turn. So yeah, they're sharing 4 links together on turn 1. So defensively, 126k defense, but remember, he's nuking, and we're actually getting a pretty decent field of orbs here. So we're going to grab 8 orbs, and let's see what he's looking like after 8 orbs. And he's going to get full 24 key, because he gets extra key per orb, which is really good. So 167k. So still not that crazy. The support buff here where he's raising all allies attack, that includes himself, though. So he's going to give himself 30% more defense on super. And I don't believe he does anything in here in terms of on super. So we are going to get another 30%, but you can already see, like, 8 orbs is a decent amount of orbs. And 167k, I mean, after supering, he's going to be maybe around 200k, that's kind of getting outclassed already in today's game. So defensively, he's already not looking like the best. But let's see what his offense looks like here. Okay, 4.6 mil is actually really solid. Like, I'll take that. So you can just tell, like, he's a unit that is starting to age a little bit, but he's not bad. Okay, we did get the additional, but not a super. So that attack did give us a 30% buff for the rotation. We just didn't get to see it because he took out the Goku. But yeah, he's not a bad unit. He's a runnable unit for sure. It's just that, you know, he's on a lot of competitive teams, right? Like Pure Saiyans, Goku family, things like that. So it's just a matter of, do I have other Gokus I'd rather play? Most often the answer you're going to say is yes. And he's not, I mean, he does support in a super attack effect, but he's not a support unit that you can run in slot 3. Because if you run him in slot 3, the best you can get is that 12 key 20% for 2 turns. And odds are you'd rather just put a 30 or 40% like straight up normal supporter in that slot, right? Like I would run version Z Goku over this guy like 9 times out of 10. So the only time you really want to prioritize this guy is if you're trying to run him on rotation with his nuking ability. And he's good enough to run on rotation, right? With an over 4 mil attack set, that is good enough. But defensively, he's not holding out as much. That's the tough part. And the thing is I could use the excuse, I could say, well, if you're a newer account, you don't have the options. But the thing is, the requirement to get this guy is 2,000 days. If you're playing this game 2,000 days, unless you literally are a bot, like logging in and out and not summoning, like you're going to have better units that you're probably, this guy isn't going to be your #1 choice on the team, right? Okay, so once again, 4 links. Yeah, don't pick up any in the middle. So we'll sit in slot 1. The orbs have actually worked out really nice. Without orb changing, we got a 9 spot now. So let's see what we get in this 9 spot. Full heal. He does heal really well too, right? That's the other thing that this Goku has. Don't underestimate that healing. So yeah, 170k defense. A little bit better than the last turn because we did grab 1 more orb. But yeah, the healing is something not to underestimate because healing is a very powerful mechanic in this game, right? So yeah, 4.7, like, the attack stats are definitely solid. So, like, I definitely see some people using this guy for sure. He's like, probably the most useful thing I think this guy is for is, like, Battlefield. He's a really awesome Battlefield unit because 120% leader skill is good in there because you're typically just running mono teams anyways. So, like, this Goku, you could run him as your super STR as, like, one of the side leads. Or what I would recommend doing with him is just leaving him not on your main teams, and then he's like your extra team at the end, right? So like when Omega Shenron decides he's going to lock your terrible defense unit in slot 1, super right away, and then normal him to death, right? And you have to go in, and it's like, oh, team 1 didn't quite work out. When you need that alternate second team, that Goku sitting there is like an all types leader where it's like, all right, I can just take this Mod Podge of units I've got left over and make the best team I can out of it to try to finish off Omega Shenron at the end. So I think Battlefield is definitely, for me, is the #1 way I'm going to be using this guy quite often. But, like, yeah, if I'm running this Super Vegeta Pure Saiyans team, he's probably not my first choice. Plus, I'm, like, if I'm running this team, especially with Super Vegeta as the leader, like, a lot of these just generic Super Saiyan characters all link up so well, right? So I'm running, like, AGL LR Gohan, I'm running Broly's, I'm running Super Saiyan Goku's, like, I'm running that kind of stuff. Not the base form Goku. Now, version Z Goku, on the other hand, I would run because I can just float him as a support. His links aren't as important, right? Okay, so here we go. Linking up pretty well again. So let's do one more turn, just kind of normal here. We're going to take some type disadvantage hits here so we can see how well he defends, depending on how many hits we take. But yeah, 150k before supering, like, not that great. He doesn't get a ton on super, right? Just 30%. So yeah, he's going to be sitting at around 200k defense after super again. Okay, but yeah, the 4 mil plus attack stats have been consistent. So I'll definitely take that. And he is giving support to the rotation. It's just he's got to be in the front end of it. And slot 1 is not where I typically want to put this guy. I know it'd be pretty busted, but if they gave this guy just a smidge of like damage reduction or something where I could put him in slot 1, then he's got a lot more value, because then I'm incentivized to put him in slot 1. Maybe like in his passive, like just say in slot 1, give him like 30 to 40% damage reduction. Then I think this unit's really cooking. The thing is like when he released on actual day 2000, that maybe would have been too powerful, but like they would have had to have thought like there are going to be so many players getting this guy like years down the road. It would have been nice. Damage reduction is something that like stands the test of time, that would have made this unit age really well, right? Look at Super Saiyan 3 STR Vegeta. Like, he is so old, one of the oldest EZAs in the game, and he's still super usable just because he's got all the damage reduction. Look at AGL Golden Frieza, same thing. Super old unit, but still has some super good viability just because they have so much damage reduction. So I feel like if you keep the kit exactly the same, give them 30 or 40% damage reduction, it doesn't even have to be all the time, just in slot 1, then I would say this guy has some definite use, because then it's like, maybe I want to sandwich this insane Pure Saiyans unit in the middle of this Goku on the front end, and then like version Z Goku on the back end. We got 2 supports, and then you've got like a crazy like Broly in the middle of them or something, doing like 10 mil attack stats. I could see that really working, right? But yeah, in this situation, all right, let's just do a nuke turn here. The other thing too is we could use a little bit of healing anyways. So I mean, I could transform Vegito for that, but let's go ahead and yeah, let's do some little orb shenanigans here. And I don't even have to give him STR orbs. I can give him anything, because his nuking doesn't matter on what type you're doing. It's just per whatever orb. I just set it up for STR, which is fine because it'll give us even more healing, because he's going to heal per orb, and then he's going to get the per STR. So yeah, here's basically a full field. So we're going to grab 22 orbs here. This is going to full heal for sure. 24 key, yeah, 240k defense. Now that's looking decent, but here's the thing. Even in today's game, 240k defense, then he's going to get like another 30% on super. So yeah, he's going to be like over 300k defense, which that I would say in today's game is like solid. But you go into Ultimate Red Zone, that's still not cutting it, right? So even grabbing a full field of orb, like his defense now is really good, but it's not like wowie zowie, oh my god, that's insane. Which for like a modern nuking unit, their defense should be wowie zowie insane if you're grabbing a full field, right? So yeah, that's just to give you, yeah, and then 6.7. Once again, so basically this Goku on a full field, he's looking like a modern day unit, right? Like 6 to 7 mil attack stats, 350k defense. Yep. You know, here's the thing that's funny. That turn we just got with the full field of orbs, that's literally the Tech Trunks EZA, the like normal banner unit, Super Saiyan Tech Trunks. I had him in his showcase hitting 7 mil attack stats with 400k defense, and he's just a TUR banner unit. So that in perspective just shows you that this 1000-day Goku is already starting to age, right? So once again, my synopsis, not a bad unit. He's just starting to age, and it's because he came out a while ago. It's just players are going to get him a lot later because it takes a long time to log in 2,000 days. What's that? It's literally like 6 years of logging in or something ridiculous. So yeah, it's it's quite the feat to get this unit. But I think for a lot of people, he's going to kind of be a trophy, but I do see some use for Battlefield. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this 2,000-day Goku. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.